Hi, friends. It's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today we are back to set up every dollar for someone who gets paid weekly. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe below. This is going to be kind of like a how-to. This is kind of new to me because you guys know I get paid twice a month. So I have my notes here. I got my planners here because I have to keep track of all the dates. Another thing that I did was I went to EveryDollar and I set up a new account. So that way you guys are not looking at the categories, how I set them up. You can kind of see what EveryDollar looks like if you're brand new to the platform, how it actually came originally before I went in there and started messing with it. I've been using EveryDollar for 4 years, 4.5 years. And so there's like a little questionnaire in here that they have me filling out. Yes. And all right. So now they're setting it up and they're talking about like you want to enter your paychecks, and you see how they break theirs down, paycheck one, paycheck two, but you guys will see that in mine I just have one bucket for my full-time income, and then I list like YouTube, rent for my son, savings as different lines. And so there's different ways to do this, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. But the way my son set theirs up is similar to this, so I'm going to continue past that. And so they have like all the little tutorials in here to kind of help you. They didn't used to have this back when I started. I don't remember, but I did have the mobile app, so maybe I didn't see it. I don't know. If you've had yours like 4.5 years, let me know. So I'm trying to click through all of this. Okay, hurry up. Okay. And so now we're actually inside of EveryDollar. That was a whole lot of clicks, y'all. So the first thing that I want to do, first I'm gonna move my notebook out of my way. Because I have decided that for my mock scenario, I get paid every Friday. And so I wanted to know what dates do I get paid. And so you can actually, you see how they have this paycheck number one, paycheck number two. Since there's 5 Fridays in October, I'm going to have 5 paychecks. And so I can leave it just saying paycheck 1, 2, 3, 4, and then paycheck number 5. If I had any other side hustle money, I would add another paycheck and then give it a more meaningful name. You can put dates outside of here. So let's say paycheck number 1. I'm okay with that, but I want to put the actual date that I'm going to receive that check, and that's 10/1. So I'm going to close this. So that way it stands out to me. So the next one is 10/8. I need my notes again. Never put your stuff up. Like I just set that down. 10/8, 10/15. Yeah. Yeah, this is totally out of my wheelhouse. I understand it, but you know how some things are when you're going in here. And I didn't want to take you guys into my account because I thought that it would kind of convolute the message. Hopefully I'll put a space in there. 10/29. Okay. And so for me, per paycheck, I'm estimating that I'm going to get paid $823.30. You may be like, that's convenient. Where that amount came from? It actually came from my income. This was my take home income back in October of 2017. And this was my take home income from my full time job. You guys know that from my story, I actually had a lot more things going on, and my car had been totaled at this point, and so I was paying for a rental car and a lot of other things, but I didn't want to have all of that in here, as part of this right here. So you see all my income, and you also see that I've now planned out what my weekly paycheck is going to be. And you'll see up here in the upper left, I have $4,116 left to budget. So now that just says I have nothing down here in my expenses area. Now, one of the things I also wanted to stress was, okay, this is all of my paychecks that are in the calendar month of October. But what about my first paycheck of the next month? I feel like in month to month budgeting, you have to be a little bit more forward thinking, and you need to know how many days between the last paycheck and your next one that roll over into that calendar month. So we know that October ends on the 31st, and that day is on a Sunday, but the first is on that Monday. And so I get my next paycheck on 11/5. So I have bills 11, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We know on the first, since I'm a renter, I got rent to pay. So I need to make sure I have a category that's set up that's going to cover my bills that are due on the first or second, third, or fourth before I get my paycheck from the fifth. So hopefully that makes sense. Um, some I don't. Some people have like free checks, and I think that that's budgeting over time. They've set aside all those expenses and to prepare for it. But if you're new, you may not have that, so you have to set up a fund to cover that. And so we're going to add a column in, not a column. We're going to add a row in the savings section, and we're going to call that rollover. So we want to make sure that we have money to cover rent or any expenses that come first, second, third, and fourth before I get that fifth paycheck. When it comes to paying my rent, I try to get that done on the first. I have had moments where it's been like 11 o'clock at night and I'm waking up to pay my rent. But yeah, we're going to come back to that rollover account um, in a second, okay? So don't go away. So we're going to make this a fund. And that way, when we put money in here and we create November's budget, we'll see that balance roll over into the next month if I did that correctly. But we're starting out with zero because this is my very first budget in here. And so back in October 26th, 2017, my rent was $660. So yes, cheap. Very, very cheap. You guys know I live in Memphis, so I don't have, there's no separation between my light, gas, and water. It's all, the utilities are all in one. So I am going to get rid of the water line, the natural gas, and I'm just going to call this utilities. Let's see if I can spell. And so typically in that apartment, my utilities ran about $140, so much cheaper than they are now. I don't have cable, but I do have internet because at the very beginning of my debt freedom journey, I got rid of cable, and so I was paying 116 back then. Not much different than what I pay now. Trash is included in my rent. Here, I don't think we paid a separate trash fee there. So I'm going to delete that. Right. So now you see what my housing costs look like. I'm going to add something here. I'm going to add a line for my phone. Now, back then, I used to pay the whole bill, 268 by myself. And 268 is pretty high, and that was because I also was what you call it when you're financing the phone, it's all into your plan. I have learned not to do that, and I actually paid those phones off, and so we now save for our phones. So now we can see I have all of my housing expenses here, and so you can see it on the pie chart over here. And up here, you can see that I have $2,932.50 left to budget. Now, some people, they break the housing down. Like they use the current month to pay the next month's rent. Since this is my first budget and I'm trying to get there, I'm not going to do that here, but that is a goal to have, to be able to save that money up so that way you'll have enough money to cover your rent and you'll get ahead that way. So, but that is a way to do it. And I think YNAB works really well to allow you to do something like that. Now for transportation. Here for my gas, back then I used to side hustle. And so I'm going to put $100 in my account. Car maintenance. I was not putting anything into car maintenance, so I'm not going to put anything here. That would be a future goal. So I'm going to leave it here, but you could delete it out if you didn't want it. And so you can see I didn't change my account very much from this one. Groceries. Back then, I was giving myself $350. Didn't matter how many weeks was in a month. It was just a flat $350. Since I get paid every week, I think that $350 is about $70 a week. And you can break this out and you can say grocery week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if that's what you choose. But I'm just going to leave it as one big piece. Um, Restaurants. I don't have anything in my budget for restaurants. And that's a good thing because I don't have a lot of money. And once we get down to the debt and all these other sections, you're going to see I got a lot of money that I actually pay out. I just haven't done it yet. And so I have $2,482.50. Back then, I did not give myself clothing money or personal money. And if you're wondering where or how I found that, you see how they put this, like the phone, in the personal section. I put my phone up in the housing section. My phone, my internet, they're kind of part of what I do. Like I have to have my cell phone. I have to have internet to do my job. So I can't just like not have these things. So I already have this accounted for as part of my housing because to me, the housing section is something that is essential more than anything. I want to be able to cover that if anything happens. That section is like up there. Everything else beyond the car, like putting gas in your car, paying your car note and stuff like that, it is expendable. So I'm gonna leave fun money because we're gonna say future Tracy might need that. Hair and cosmetics, she definitely needs that. Subscriptions, back then my subscriptions were $11. What I had, I can't tell y'all today because I don't know. So my personal section is pretty light, but I had to have it that way because I didn't have very much money and had a lot of debt. In the lifestyle section, they got pet care. Y'all know I don't have any pets. Nothing against the pets, but they're expensive and I can't afford them. Child care. Y'all know by this point, 2017, my kids were grown. I don't think even my youngest one had started to work by this point. So, entertainment, I'm going to put the gym because I did used to go to the gym. Was I going to the gym? I might have been walking by the gym. That's why I said this is going to be a tutorial of sorts because y'all know I talk too much. Um, they got a health. They mustn't have this back then. So I'm going to get rid of this one then because they got a gym. They got health down here. They got a gym right here. I might come back to that miscellaneous. So that's why I didn't get rid of it. I got to see what I have in my section that in my paper budget that's not here. So I'm going to go back up here to lifestyle and I'm going to change miscellaneous to household because household is all of my toiletries and I always separate it because I get a little neurotic when it comes to catching certain sales and buying excess of all the things. So I think I got MLGW phone, internet, and now we are medicine and vitamins. I'm not going to put anything into those. Health insurance, life insurance. At this point, I wasn't tracking my health insurance and life insurance. And I think this might have been the year when I got overcharged for something. So, and that's when I started. That's what y'all see me doing today. Auto insurance. I was paying $106 a month. My renter's insurance was $25 a month. And I think at this time I was not participating in any kind of identity theft program. I think that came about later. You know what I'm missing? Because I do my laundry. So I need that here. I knew it was going to come about. I have a long list in front of me. So, you guys, I am. And there is no rhyme or reason to how I wrote this down. So I'm going to have to go ahead and do this. Yeah. Think I'm caught up. Yeah. Everything else is dead. And so you see, I have $2,218.50. So you remember I talked about the rollover. So I want to make sure that I have at least $660 to cover my rent that's going to be due on the first. But it's highly probable that I could have other bills that are due between the first and the fourth. I don't remember back then when my due dates were for everything. So please don't hold that against me. So, credit cards. Let's go with Chase. Chase, I was paying them 61 a month. My car payment, that was, and I apologize, my voice is cracking. 376. My student loan was 424. It was actually 423.74, but I don't want to deal with any change right now. And I had Citibank, and I was paying them 60. Personal loans, I did have those, 212. All right. Personal loans. So about there, y'all. About there. I did the car payment. And who did I have next? We got to pay Target. Target is like my favorite place to be. And why am I just hitting random keys? 105. And then I had a Walmart charge card too. $200 there. And so that's all of my expenses for the month. You can go back in and put like the due dates in here. So that way you know when something is due. It's due the 28th. Car payment. Mine used to come out twice a month. So this is kind of difficult, but I'm just going to arbitrarily choose the 15th. So you can put dates on here just so you know when things are coming out of your account. Back then, my student loan actually used to come out on the 28th, and I had it moved to the 18th. So we're going to put the 18th here. And you can do that going down your debts. You can also do that on any other expense too. And so I'm going to go back up to this rollover amount here that I put up in the savings. And then I'm going to take this $780 and put that there. And so that way, when I go and budget for November, so let's dip on and create a budget for November. Start planning for November. Yes, and you know, like once you have that first one made, it copies all that information over. And we know that our first paycheck is 11/4. Not 11/4, 11/5. And I want to say, I didn't write this down. I'm trying to count. 11/12. And I'm trying to do the Fridays. Why am I guessing? I got a calendar right here. 11/12, 11/19, 11/26. That's a day before my birthday. And since there's only 4 Fridays in November, 1126. Now paycheck number 5, what we're going to do is just change it and put rollover from October. And that's going to be the $780. Is it 780.50? And so you'll see how my income now is $4,073.70 and how I'm $42.80 over budget. And that means in the expenses area, I have to, so since we count this as income, we're going to pay our rent out of that. I would have to go through here and find, okay, I need to cut $42.80 from my budget. So it would probably, because I don't have many areas. Household, since there's 4 weeks, I could drop that back to 40. I could also drop back laundry to 40. The gym would be probably a standard fee. And my bills are what they are. I mean, I probably could drop back the Walmart payment because I think I was always paying them a little bit extra. That was a high interest charge card, but I could drop back the groceries. But you'll also want to make sure that you know, okay, between November and December, how many days between the last time I got paid on 11/26 and when is the first of the month. So in December, the first of the month would be on a Wednesday. And so I would have 2 days before I got paid again. So you got a choice. What are you going to, like, what are you going to do? You can reduce your food. There's like choices you have to make. So month to month budgeting does require a little bit more forethought into it and to get the expenses just right. So let's drop back the groceries because I think this is about $70 a week. So we drop this down to 280. Yeah, because that's 70 a week. And so you'll see I have $47.20 left. Now, my rent won't be late, but we don't want to play with that. But we do have to still go through here, look at these expenses. Maybe I have to earn a little extra money because y'all know that I did have a side hustle that's not included in October's budget to help offset my expenses, but there will have to be some adjustments here. One thing too is also you see when it copied over the rollover, so that's probably part of my problem right there. Sure enough is. So you see $827 just pop back up. And so I need to determine what is due the first. So we always have to make sure we have like 660 to cover the rent. But I think that's what makes the month to month budgeting a little bit different than paycheck to paycheck. To me, paycheck to paycheck is a very narrow window and it's like horse with blinders on, very short time period. A month is a little bit longer. And if you're doing year budgets, that's even longer. But that is how I would use EveryDollar for a week to week. If I got paid weekly. And so you can see I have all my paychecks in here, and then I would have my rollover at least to cover my rent on the first and the second. But it just really depends on what expenses you have at the very beginning of the month. So you do want to have that documented. One of those things due. I don't remember having a lot due at the beginning of the month. You guys see that even now I have more expenses on the back end. You also can see that I don't have as much debt. I think by November of 2017, I had actually paid off the Target charge card. So that wouldn't been an expense in November. So I would move on to the Walmart and got rid of that one, and then my personal loans and got rid of those. So that's how that worked for me. Hopefully, hopefully, I didn't confuse y'all too much. But yeah, I could stick this whole, I just thought about it. I could stick all of this into the rollover and just be done with it, or I could give myself a little bit more food money. So we'll do that. We'll give ourselves some more food money because, even though this isn't my grocery budget, it makes me nervous. So we're gonna up that to $300, so that way we have a little bit more food money. I probably would want a little bit more into the laundry. I don't know why. You never know what laundry increase that. And then take what's left and add that to the rollover just to make sure I had enough money. Or you could give yourself some personal money if you want. If you want to. So we had 660 plus 137.7. 797.70. So hopefully, because I have to make that say it's the every dollar budget, or I'll just get real squirrely later when y'all don't see me. but but yeah, you could do whatever once you figure out where the bills lay, where the paychecks lay, when the month ends, how many days exist, like before your next pay period comes up, your next payday come up. For me, it's real simple. It's very simple because it's the last day of the month and then the 15th of the month. So on the first, I always have money because I got paid the day before. So that's how it works for me, but it's a very simple way of budgeting too. I never thought about it until after I got into the rhythm, and I'm like, oh man, this way is easy. I used to not want that, but you could see how much would have been going to debt. It was like 35% of my income back then. And we can go back to October. And the more you get rid of the debt, the more that income is freed up. No, I don't want to see that get out of the way. So yeah, 35%. And I don't know if you guys use EveryDollar. Did there used to be ads up in here? I don't remember there being ads in here. I've seen it lately, but I don't know. But anywho, I'm not gonna tie you guys up too much longer. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, putting the dates on here can help. You just see me consolidate some things, and that's just because I'm lazy. But you could put dates on like when your rent is due, when your utilities are due, your internet, your phone. Now, hopefully, you don't have like traveling bills like I do, meaning that they kind of bounce around and creep around on the calendar, and you don't have no reason why it's happening. It just happens. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section below. And y'all have a super fantastic Sunday. And I will talk to you guys again on Tuesday. Y'all have a great one. Bye.